Hello. Um, I'm trying to put this box in a good place again. Please bear with me for a second. Okay, I guess I'm happy with it there. I just always feel bad having it on top of people's faces. Anyway, um, so as you can see, today we will be talking about Haircut by Baby Box. Um, so just a few things to mention before we get into the song is so the first thing is this is obviously their original lineup. So all those newer folks that we talked about in the prior videos are not going to be here yet. And something else is that a few people have, in like different articles and things, I've got all my sources in the description box. They mentioned that their style was intended to be similar to that of the Spice Girls that were also active around the same time. So that was like their inspiration. Their concept at the beginning, at least, was like a social justice feminism type concept that went away fairly quickly, which we will see later. But that was the point at this point. And so basically, what this song is it's comparing getting a haircut essentially to how sad you are about a breakup. So it's like the shorter the hair is, the less sad you are. Now, I have some interesting takes on this that we will see in a minute, but yeah. So a couple other things I wanted to mention because I don't focus on them as much in like the timestamps that I'm choosing to show because I'm not showing the whole video is one that Yumi's voice is like very, very unique, and I feel like that's not talked about enough because she left so fast. But I really do think that it brought something different to Baby Box that other bands didn't have at the time. And similarly, Shun's style is like really, really odd. This whole thing has like a very like laid back, casual, like random girl next door type thing, but also like feminism. You know what I mean? Like it feels very home video like. And that's another thing I wanted to mention is that I'm not going to be playing the music video because I didn't have anything like specific to point out in the music video this time. Sometimes I'll have more things to point out in the music video. This time I didn't. So we'll just be sticking with the lyric video. But the video quality of the music video is so like old. I don't know how else to put it. Like it's just really, really old feeling. And yeah, so you could definitely tell it's from 1997. So yeah, that being said, I'm gonna no, I don't want to play the beginning. I want to play this part here. Okay, let me hide this. Um, so this line here, it says, "I cried when I cut my long hair that you envied so much." So this shows that they're cutting the hair, and you can also hear Shiwon style here. You hear what I mean? Like that, like in the background, and like her like fast rapping. I'm not a rapper at all, like at all, but I definitely know that this does not sound like other K-pop rap I typically hear. So I wanted to point that out. Um, Now if we come here, this line here that mentioned that the girl is the one that initiates the breakup. And I feel like that sounds kind of silly, like, yeah, of course. But that's a thing that wasn't talked about enough was girls having the control over when they date and when they don't, and like being the ones to leave the men. Like usually it's like, oh, this poor woman was abandoned by her boyfriend or whatever. Like sometimes the girl wants to break up too. Okay. Now if we skip ahead a little bit. So that whole verse there shows how the haircut analogy is being used. That the shorter the hair, the more you can find me without sadness. And that as it's growing back, it's kind of implying that as it grows back, like emotion and sadness comes back. But basically, short hair means you're not sad. You're cutting off the relationship, you're cutting off the hair, you're reinventing yourself. Um, okay. Now here you can see Yumi's interesting voice as well, and this is going to show how the boy figures out they're breaking up from the haircut as well. Yeah. And then you can see this line coming up next. We're not going to play it, but happiness was obtained from your sorrow. So he is upset about the breakup and she feels freed by it, and she's cutting her hair and moving on. And it also, the fact that she cut her hair, it didn't make sense to the boy at first. But then once she said they were breaking up, he realizes, like, it's connected, you know? Okay. Now this whole bit here, if it will load. Oh dear. Okay. This part here is, let me just play it. Also, that like guy in the back doing that whole thing is very interesting. But also this part here, I feel like kind of shows how by cutting off their hair and cutting off love from their life, essentially, that is how to get stability, that love feels unstable and unhealthy to them. And so there's this need to just cut it off entirely. And now I want to come to the ending. So yeah, what that part shows is, in my opinion, this is just a theory, that I think that it's almost like saying that she's crying not from sadness, because remember, she cut her hair, there is no more sadness. She's almost crying that she's cut herself off from having emotion, that needing to not feel sad from the breakup meant she just closed herself off to emotion in general, and so she's crying for her emotional self and for the feeling she won't experience anymore because she's too scared to love again. So, I don't know. That's just my take on that. But I will have all my sources in the description box, and I will also be putting the music video if you want to watch it, this lyric video, and I will also be putting in a recommended live performance. This is a thing I'll do whenever I can find one, because I feel like live performances add something else, but I also don't have anything I would particularly be able to say about them in a video, but I still want to put them there for anyone who's interested. So yeah, that was Haircut by Baby Vox. Bye! Annyeong!